We go to Washington.
We suck again!
Remember those lovely pardons? Not the ones that Trump's been signing wrecking the Democrats' lives.
It's so terrifying.
But the ones Dementia Joe was signing just before he left office, like the ones for the J6 committee members? Well, it turned out that those may be void due to something called AutoPen.
What the fuck?
I'm Jazz Berganzo, and this. Is it anyone's surprise that a guy who barely knew what day it was, nor color socks he wore, could actually sign these things?
Come on, man. Give me a little break here.
God! You can't make this shit up!
But it's what's next. What's up, everyone? Jazz Berganzo. What's next? Your daily dose. Hope you guys are feeling good today on this Tuesday. Well, stories, they are abundant, aren't they? And the reason why I say this, remember those lovely pardons? You know, not the ones that Trump has been signing, you know, wrecking Democrats' lives, you know, from two genders to getting our army back, you know, straight to doing what needs to be done to get this country back on the right track. You know, those things that Democrats hate so much. But the ones Dementia Joe was signing just before he left office, you know, he was pardoning everybody left, right, and center, from criminals to pedos to, you know, thugs to thieves. And no, we're not talking about Congress, but in this instance, we are talking about Congress. The J6 committee members. Remember that lovely gang, who impeached, you know, Donald Trump for a second time, you know, on bullshit charges that he couldn't produce any real facts about? Well, they were pardoned by Dementia Joe for some odd reason to, you know, to offset any possibility of Trump going after them later on if Trump were to get into the White House, which of course he did. Now, it turns out that those pardons may be null and void due to something called AutoPen. This, coming out of Breitbart. Trump declares Biden's pardons of January 6th committee void, vacant, due to AutoPen. Oh my. President Donald Trump said former President Joe Dementia's preemptive pardons for the members of January 6th committee are void, vacant, and no further force or effect, citing the pardons have been given via AutoPen. Quote, the pardons that Sleepy Joe Biden gave to the unselect committee of political thugs and many others are hereby void, vacant, and no further force or effect because the fact is they were done by AutoPen, President Trump said on Sunday night in a Truth Social post. In other words, Joe Dementia did not sign them. More importantly, he did not know anything about them, Trump continued. The necessary pardon documents were not explained to nor approved to by Biden. He knew nothing about them, and the people that did may have committed a crime. The 45th and 47th president went on to say that members of the House committee are therefore subject to investigation at the highest levels. Quote, therefore, those of the unselect committee who destroyed and deleted all evidence obtained during their 2-year witch hunt of me and many other innocent people should fully understand that they are subject to investigation at the highest levels, the president proclaimed. The fact is that they were probably responsible for the documents that were signed on their behalf without the knowledge or consent of the worst president in the history of our country, Crooked Joe Biden, or Dementia Joe, President Trump concluded in his post. In a follow-up conversation with a reporter, President Trump reiterated his assessment, saying, I would say that all the pardons are null and void, because I'm sure Biden didn't have any idea it was taking place. Somebody was using AutoPen to sign off and give these pardons, Trump continued. As an example, the J6 Unselect Committee, they gave pardons with an AutoPen. I don't think Biden knew anything about it.
So to follow up on the Biden AutoPen, are those executive orders, those pardons from the former president now null and void?
Well, I think so. It's not my decision. That'll be up to a court. But I would say that they're null and void because I'm sure Biden didn't have any idea that it was taking place. And somebody was using an AutoPen to sign off and to give pardons to, as an example, it's just one example, but the J6 Unselect Committee, they gave, think of it, they gave pardons with an AutoPen. I don't think Biden knew anything about it.
If this is true.
And what they did is they deleted and destroyed all of the information that took them over a year to get. And the reason they did that is because the information was very incriminating about them. Like Nancy Pelosi, it was determined conclusively that she knew about 10,000 soldiers and turned it down. And if we used 500 soldiers, you would have had no problem, let alone 10,000. The young lady that said that I grabbed these powerful young Secret Service agents by the neck, okay? You know that was a big hoax. It was a lie. and she admitted it. And they deleted everything. So, you know, what they did is criminal. I think we're about to land, everybody.
Oh, my thoughts. Sorry, I couldn't get National Guard out. Had it on the tip of my tongue and I couldn't get it out. But if this be a true, how many other pardons were signed by AutoPen? How many? Not just the J6ers, J6 committee members, but who else? You know, Fauci, Mark Miley. Who knows? But Trump is right in one thing, that this will be decided in a court of law. It will be. Like I said, if it turns out that be AutoPen, then he is absolutely correct that these pardons are null and void, and they will be fully investigated. AutoPen's a funny thing. AutoPen is basically used, I mean, it's one thing that if you are someone famous, you know, musical artists, you know, Hollywood, sports star, you know, and you got a huge following, you got books to sign, you got, you know, you got books to sign, you got, you know, pictures to sign, you use an AutoPen. The ones that get sent to you in the mail, you know, oh, look at this wonderful picture, you know, it's got his signature on it, you know, blah, 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 blah. That was done by AutoPen. Unless you physically see, you know, name a musician, name a sports star, sign their name on a picture or something that you give to them, that's the only way that you truly know that it's authorized, that it's authentic, signed by that person. So no one should be surprised that this was used to Dementia Joe. Like I said in my intro, guy barely knew what day it was, barely knew what color socks he wore, but yet he was able to sign all those pardons. Now with Trump, it's a different story. With Trump, you saw every one of his executive orders signed by him in front of cameras, in front of the media. There's no, you know, there's no getting around it. You can't say that he falsified his name because he literally signed his name on all of them, unlike Dementia Joe. Now, like I said, if it turns out that this is the case, that AutoPen was used, now that one, that's fucked up. Two, you know, they're all a bunch of, you know, trouble. And what are you going to do about Dementia Joe? Can't go after him. President's got immunity, you know? So, but if you can go after the committee members and make examples out of them, especially after the shit that they tried to pull or pulled on President Trump, it's a win-win. And with that being said, I'm Jasper Gonzo. This is What's Next. Want to see more like this, please leave a comment below. Like it, share, subscribe to it, hit the notification bell so you guys never miss a thing. Continue spreading the word about the show. Appreciate you guys watching as always. And we'll see you next time. Peace.